Wow, you're actually all alive. We like that. You don't really have to come out here and get people to understand that Q&As are interactive, which means when we talk to you, you talk back. But you already know that, so this is fantastic. I'm taking over this poor man's job, and he's very upset with me. But we should give him a round of applause because he was running the Q&A earlier. But I like to pretend that I'm famous, but I'm not as famous as Billy, so it's all good. Now, I think I might sit like this so we can wrap. Does that work for everybody? So this is how we're going to do this Q&A, guys. I forgot your name.
My name is Ed.
This is Jorge. He's going to have a handheld mic, and he's going to come out into the crowd with a microphone so that you guys can ask your questions. Now, what Mr. Williams likes to do is he likes to hear your name first, and then your question. We like this because if the question sucks, we know who to make fun of. Can you all do that? Yeah. Don't lose me now. When I ask questions, talk. Like that kid over there is doing nothing. You, right there. When we talk, you talk back. Are you good to go? I've totally freaked him out. He's like, you're good to go. Okay. And your brother, too? Oh, that's your brother? Who's the friend next to you? He just sat down? Fantastic. Who else is sitting next to a stranger? Yay! We're all going to have drinks in the bar later. Fantastic. So,
brother and sisters at the Cohen.
Guinness? Guinness. I don't drink beer. How about Colt 45? Someone knows history. Yeah. Okay, so since you guys don't all care about me, I have to tell you one little thing. I'm a little disappointed. It's not Jorge's fault. What's his name? Ed. No, it's Jorge. Try to keep up. Normally we have a video that shows a little bit of the illustrious career of Billy D. Williams, and it shows things like Lady Sings the Blues. Have you heard of it? Let me know.
Yeah.
It shows a little stint that he did on Modern Family. Has anyone seen it?
Yes.
Okay, so we got that. And then, of course, it all spirals into The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and the crowd normally goes nuts. And then after that, the Death Star blows up, and his name, are you all visualizing this as I'm talking? His name comes up on the screen, and when it does, that's my job to go, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the coolest man in the galaxy, Billy D. Williams!
I was talking about coming here. It's always coming, when I do these things, I never really get a chance to see anything because I'm always being transported between the hotel and the venue that I have to go to. So I was hoping to really see Pensacola. I've heard so much about it. I've never been here before, and I've heard so much about the beaches here and the water. So I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to see any of that. Are we going to get a chance to see any of that?
I think Sunday we have some free time.
Oh, good. Good.
What beach should we go to?
Pensacon.
Damn, I thought it was going to be Miami Beach. You want to put that down? We're good?
I asked my son, I asked Corey if he likes to come. He's in Atlanta, and he likes to travel down here with Linda. But he said it's not here. It's someplace that's close by, though.
Panama City.
Panama City? But the beaches here are better?
He didn't say Panama City. Panama City, that's in Panama.
So normally, guys, I start off the Q&As for everybody. Here's the thing. Don't be shy. When you have a question, put your hand in the air and Jorge will come find you. But to get us started, normally after we see that video and you see all the acting that he's done, I like to explain to everybody that Billy is not just an actor. He's also a very accomplished artist. And I always like to start off the Q&As with Billy telling you all a little bit about his art. So Billy, could you fill them in on your art, please?
Well, I grew up in New York City a long time ago, and somewhere in the galaxy there.
Far, far away.
Far away, yeah. And I went to a school called Music and Art High School. My sister and I had a twin sister, and I majored in art. I was an art major, and when I graduated Music and Art High School, I got a scholarship to a school called the National Academy of Design and Fine Arts, where I spent 2 years on the scholarship painting, and won a Hogarth and was nominated for a Guggenheim. I was about 18, 19 years old at the time. I was pretty good. I was a pretty talented kid. I've been exhibiting. I've exhibited in lots of places. Just recently, I had some stuff up in Toronto at the Brian List Gallery there in Yorkville. But and I also have a piece in the Smithsonian today on one of my pieces, and the Kansas City Jazz Museum and the Schoenberg in New York. But I call my work abstract reality, and what I mean by that is real as things are, they are as abstract. And what I mean by that, I paint what's representational, which is obvious to the eye, and then I sort of include a lot of things that allow the spectator to bring their own experiences into what they're looking at. So the subject matter can be almost anything. I do a lot of stuff on jazz, because that's where, when I grew up around in those years, the bebop years. And I worked with the Thelonious Monk Jazz Institute in Washington, D.C. I've been with them for about, I think it's 22 years now. And we put on competitions every year, and for young people who are from all over the world. We've given a lot of support to. And I also do their program every year. So, but the subject matter varies. It could be many, social statements, romance, all kinds of things. Anyway.
Anybody familiar with his artwork? Has anyone seen it? Yay, Jorge has. Fantastic. If you guys want to see a little bit of what he does, go to bdwworldart.com. You can check it out. And at his signing table, we actually have a lithograph of one of his paintings that he did for The Empire Strikes Back. So you can see his artwork, and you can buy one. So check that out. So now is the time where you all get to ask questions. So don't be shy. Put your hands in the air. And here comes, oh my God, I love your shoes, dude.
Yeah, I was checking those shoes out.
Well, I've got a nice red fedora too, but I knew I was going to be in the room with the coolest guy on the planet, so I tried to step it up. So.
Hi, I'm Kim.
Hi.
As much as I love your work, my favorite besides Star Wars is Nighthawks. Can you give me any little tidbit? I'd love to hear something.
That was a difficult shoot, because we were shooting in the middle of winter in New York City, and I swore off at some point in my life, and I think it was about 1968, I swore that I would never go back to the subway system ever again, because people they acted like.
They're rude.
Rude. and the reason why I decided not to go back to it is because I remember I was in this crowded subway car, and there was a seat that I gave up my seat to this old lady, and she pushed me out of the way and took the seat. I said, that's it for me. But anyway, when we did Nighthawks, I actually saw the subway system in a way that most people have no idea it exists. This whole kind of subterranean kind of life, which was quite interesting. And Sly, he was in pretty good condition, so we both had to do a lot of running. So I had to tell him one day, look, could you just slow down just a little bit, please, so that I can look good, too. But there were a lot of interesting things going on. Rutger, he was a great villain. Rutger Hauer. He was a good one of the best villains I've ever seen on screen.
Have you all seen Nighthawks?
But that's one of the things. We had a lot of things.
Yes, sir.
But you know, it's so funny.
Wait.
It's so funny. In New York City, you know, people are so used to seeing, terrible things going on, that when we did the scene where I get sliced in the face, I mean, it was early in the morning and people were on their way to work. Nobody, it was like normal, you know, it was like nobody even flinched. Anyway, it was very funny.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Williams.
What's your name? What's your name?
Oh, my name is Gabriel.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, Gabriel. Gabriel.
Like many of us here, I'm just kind of discovering your painting work, which it's fantastic. Who are some of your influences in that area?
Well, I've been influenced by a lot of people. You know, the old masters. There was a whole period when I got really fascinated with what they call the chiaroscuro school of painting. And it's a Dutch school, or Italian school, or Dutch school. I think the Dutch are known more for it, but it's playing with light and dark, you know, and it's very dramatic. And one of my favorite painters was Velasquez, who had really created this kind of luminosity in his paintings that always fascinated me. But certainly we were in Mexico just recently, and I was Mexico City, and I've been wanting to go there for a long time. Never got a chance, but I had a chance finally to see the Mexican muralists like Diego Rivera, Orozco, Segueros blew me away. I mean, I looked at his work and I literally started weeping. That's how much I was impressed with what I saw. But many people have been. Tamara Delampica, she was part of the Art Deco movement. She's one of my favorite painters. But there are many people that I steal from.
Anyone in the room an artist? Anyone in the room an artist? Yeah? You're what?
Married one.
You married one. Excellent. How's that working out for you? Go ahead, Jorge.
Painters are almost as crazy as actors.
Oh, Becky? Becky.
Well, my son just reminded me, I am an artist. I knit, and I do it on my own fly. My question's a little more light than hers. My name is Jana. All of the movies that I've seen you in, you've always played something of a scoundrel, charming.
Fun.
And this is not the way. Do you feel that people see that sparkle in your eye, and the fact that you're a handsome man? Do they say, well, he has to be this scoundrel, or do you play it well because you're such a gentleman anyway that you can make that a lovable or a likable character that people want to connect to instead of going, well, such a cat? Did that make sense?
Yeah, I guess. I'm just a nice little boy. My mom raised me very, very well. It's fun to play scoundrels. They're the best characters, you know. People who are a bit dubious are always a lot of fun. So, I don't know. Maybe I got a little something in me that sort of conveys that, I suppose.
Jorge.
How exactly did Seth Green approach you for the Robots You're doing Star Wars special?
Well,
that I am altering the deal, right, that I do not need to alter any further, and then when your character said, this deal is getting worse all the time, and then when the elevator door opens, and then when he said thing, and then he said, and then added something more, and then verbatim, at the credit that your name will be in the credits. How exactly did Steph Green approach you for that? Because we could never have to start with that Mark Hamill, for instance.
It's a long question. But
What
the answer will
part?
be short.
They just called me up and asked me to participate.
And,
It's as simple as that.
How did you, what was your feeling, sort of, with it? I mean,
About doing Robot Chicken? I had a lot of fun doing it. It was fun for me. I enjoy it. I've worked with Seth a few times, and he's like I treat him like my son. He's a lot of fun.
what do you think is better, Robot Chicken or Family Guy?
Well, I'm a Family Guy fan, but I'm also a fan of Robot Chicken.
Thank you.
Hi, Billy. My name's McLean.
Where are you? Oh.
The bright green guys.
And I myself have always been a huge fan of the Batman series, obviously. And my favorite film was always the 1989 one with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. And I always wanted to know, for some reason they replaced you as Harvey Dent with Tommy Lee Jones. And I wanted to know, in Batman Forever, would you ever consider to come back as Harvey Dent?
Well, actually, the reason why I accepted the role was because I was hoping to play Two-Face, but the rights to the Batman franchise was bought out by Sony. I think it was Sony that bought them out, and so everything changed, and so I didn't get the opportunity to do it, unfortunately.
I think the movie would have been better with him in it, right?
It would have been interesting.
Becky.
My name is Nathaniel. After Star Wars, you're obviously really famous. Whenever you went to go for another movie, were the filmmakers just so excited to have you like auditioning that you just automatically got the part, or was it ever a
I
challenge?
have an audition, and I don't like audition. I refuse to audition. I'm very bad at it. I always tell everybody, look, you just hire me, I'll give you what you want. I'll even give you more than what you want. So it usually works out for me. I just got a call yesterday that I'm a little nervous about.
Oh, don't say what.
Oh, I can't?
No.
Oh, okay.
Those little confidentiality things.
Right, okay.
But why don't you tell everybody a little bit about you meeting Irvin Kershner and getting onto Empire?
Well,
From that question. You can give Kersh a hand. That's good. Brilliant.
He was a wonderful man. He was probably one of the most extraordinary people in the film industry. And he wanted me to play Lando Calrissian, so it was kind of unusual. You know, usually you go to a director's or a producer's office, and you have to sit before a panel usually, and that's nerve-wracking. But Kershner came to my house, and we sat and we talked. He was very much interested in Buddhism at the time, and I was at that time in Eastern philosophy. And so we had a great rapport, great time talking to each other. So that's pretty much how it all happened as far as getting the role is concerned, which is a bit unusual.
And you know what you have to remember about Billy as well, was it Nathan? Nathaniel, is unlike Carrie and Harrison and Mark, who were unknown when they were cast in Star Wars, Billy was like Sir Alec Guinness. He was well-known, well-established. He was a Hollywood icon in the industry. So having him come on board, is a big deal for the Star Wars franchise.
Yeah, I got a deal that none of those people got. At that time.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
My name is Willie Davis. Nice to meet you, Billy.
Yeah, hi.
Of all the things that you've done throughout all of your years, and I personally, I love Star Wars. I love Empire Strikes Back. It's my favorite game, Batman. What are you most proud of in all of your acting?
Well, there are a lot of things that I've done in film and also on stage, New York stage. A lot of the work I did on stage I'm really proud of. I played Martin Luther King on Broadway, and there are a lot of other plays that I've done on Broadway and off Broadway that I'm very proud of, but certainly in movies. Well, I got an Emmy nomination for Brian's Song, so playing Gail Sayers. And that was really a favorite experience. That was one of those experiences that come once in a lifetime. And it was, I always describe it as an act of love. So that was one of my favorite moments. And certainly when I did Lady Sings the Blues with Diana, playing that character. That was actually, I played that character within the same year I did Brian's Song. A lot of people think there was a big space in between. But I like playing that character. He was pretty cool. The Bingo Long, Traveling All-Stars, I always enjoyed. Playing Bingo Long. Quite a few characters that I've enjoyed.
Billy, share with everybody how you got into acting when you were 6.
Oh, okay. Well, my mother got me involved in this stupid business. My mom she was a wonderful lady who studied opera for many years, and she was a beautiful, beautiful woman. And she had the kind of beauty that was, in those years, they called an ingenue beauty. She was like an all-American girl, really. A wonderful person. But she got me involved. She was working for, at the time, for some producers of Ben Boyer and managers, Broadway managers, Ben Boyer and I forget his name, Toohey. And they were planning a musical by Kurt Weill. Kurt Weill wrote with Bertolt Brecht, a three-penny opera. And George S. Kaufman who was a big New York producer at the time. They were going to do this musical, so they were looking for a little boy. And so she had me, they knew that she had a little boy, so she took me down and they had me walk across the stage one time and then across the stage the second time.